Colorado, Utah, you know, where it's a little cold. Come on. All right. Well, we are trying to give you as many vantage points as we can on what's going on with this fire. So let's go ahead and show you what's happening here. This is Bob Martin right now. Now, where Bob is, essentially, he is east of the fire. So he's over Luna. Now, that plume of smoke is sitting on the edge of the Luna Valley, which obviously will eventually and may well roll into there. But this shows you the massivity of the scale we're talking about here. I mean, this thing is absolutely huge. Over 300,000 acres with this particular fire. And as Bob pans across here, you could see just that wall of smoke. And pieces of that end up here in the Rio Grande Valley and across Catron County and down into the Luna Valley. As you can see, they're just spilling its way in. This fire is right on the state line, so there's nothing stopping it from rolling right into New Mexico. And given how dry we've been, how brutal the conditions have been across the state here drought-wise, this is just the worst possible scenario for us. Each evening we've been kicking up those southwesterly winds. It's those southwesterly winds that take the smoke you're looking at there, rake it over western portions of the state, and then eventually roll it into the Rio Grande Valley, and that's what we're going to get here. But this is a tough go, and some of the results, things like this. From the Pecos Wilderness, Andy English sent this picture in. We've had that blood red sun all across central and western New Mexico over the past couple of days, and it's going to continue. And by the way, thanks to Bob Martin for that. Some incredible pictures of what we're talking about here. And sometimes it's hard to get an idea of the scale, but being up a little higher in the sky and out just a little bit gives us that idea of what we're dealing with. Here in the metro, 89 degrees for us. Southeast winds right now at 8 miles an hour. We'll see the winds kick up a little bit out of the southwest later on this evening, and that's going to help push more of that smoke. Probably a little thicker layer of it coming in. Hopefully it won't be as bad as it was last night, but we're going to have our hands full. 80s and 90s across the north right now. Down to the south, the big story, not the smoke. For you guys in Roswell, Carlsbad, Hobbs, Las Cruces, Alamogordo, just brutal heat. That stretches all the way up into Tucumcari, and believe me, that heat's not going anywhere over the next 3 to 4 days either. As far as the winds go, around 20 miles an hour to the north for a sustained. Down to the south, similar sort of deal. 21 miles an hour in Socorro, 22 in TRC, and 22 in Silver City. Northern half of the state, we are seeing some wind gusts up around 35 miles an hour in Las Vegas, 25 Alamosa, 26 in Gallup, and across the south right around 30 miles an hour, Roswell, Ruidoso, TRC, and Deming at this hour. Satellite and radar shows there's not much to worry about precip-wise. That stays locked off too far to the north to help us out at all. So what we end up with here is what should be sunny skies, but that's not going to be the case because of all the smoke to our south and west. Catron County, a real bullseye point. The Rio Grande Valley, a real bullseye point for all this smoke pushing its way in here over the next couple of days. So look for each evening to be spent in a very thick smoke layer here, probably through at least Thursday. And then what we're hoping for is that the southwest winds back off a little bit. Maybe firefighters have a little success in backing off that fire, and we could start seeing our air quality improve. But our problem is that nothing really changes in the atmosphere over the next 3 to 4 days to make us think we're going to get a break. We're still going to see the southwest winds. We're likely still going to see the fire burning in a pretty significant way. So don't look for any big-time changes. That haze will continue to be the main story for us, and downright smoky conditions as well. We really never got rid of them this morning. There's a good chance we'll have to crank them up throughout the day tomorrow as well. North and west, smoke here will be an issue with southwest winds 15 to 25, gusting to 35 miles an hour. No chance of any precip. That could really scour out a lot of smoke, but it's not going to happen over the next 7. Down to the south and west, temperatures here 80s and 90s. Choking smoke will be a possibility with those southwest winds gusting to about 40 miles an hour. High 80s for us throughout the next 5 to 7 days around the Silver City area, with smoke a major factor. 103 Artesia, 104 Roswell, 102 Hobbs. You guys get the extreme heat. No, you don't have the smoke, but the fire danger down here is off the charts high. And the next 7 days are going to be very, very warm, especially the next 3, all above 100 degrees. 85 Capuline, 89 Springer, 96 Conscious, and 100 in Tucumcari. You will have some gusty winds once again across the northeast and some smoke as well. Meanwhile, over into the northern mountains, occasionally gusty winds, and yes, the smoke will be a factor here too with those wind gusts up to around 40 miles an hour. Santa Fe will have to contend with smoke the next few evenings at the very least. Over into the East Mountains, temps here top out in the 80s for the most part, with sunny and smoky conditions as well. And here in the metro, get ready for it. Dense smoke at times, especially each evening, where the air quality is going to be downright horrible. And we will see temperatures staying fairly warm, in fact, about where they should be for this time of year. No real hope on the horizon here that we're going to get a storm, though, to really clear everything out.
Okay, thanks, Mark. We'll be right back. Visit your Albuquerque Metro Ford dealer, Rich